Eddie, you brought up a good point earlier. You started with something and you went a different direction. I thought this is where you were going with it. During the consultation, it's not so much during the consultation. I guess clients think it too, but my job being more working with hairdressers, trying to figure these how much hair to order, basically. And this is my favorite. It's crazy how it's not intuitive to most people, but when they say I want hair extensions or my client wants extensions and I don't know how much hair to order, can you send me some pictures? So they send me some pictures and they'll say, well, she already has a lot of hair, so I don't think I need much. And that one is always what blows me away, is that they think people with a lot of hair don't need much more, and people with thin hair need a whole lot of hair. And this is more often than 50% of the time. And that really blows me away, because the truth is, almost no matter what the length is, thicker hair needs more hair to blend in with the thickness, no matter how much length you're adding. The more length, the more hair you need. But just from the top, the more hair a person has, the more they need to start with, right? Do you guys ever come into that one? She only needs one more layer. She just needs one more layer. So just a little at the very bottom in the back will be good.
Do you remember the octopus haircut, Bernard?
No.
So John, I had John rolling. The octopus haircut is basically, okay, but here, I'll describe it to you. When somebody has a lot of density, a lot of hair natural, and then they only put in 2-3 packs of hair or one weft in, so it looks like tendrils or little spaghettis. It's like super thin across their body, but the top of their head is nice and bulky.
And that's what you call an octopus?
It's an octopus or the jellyfish.
Or the jellyfish, or like the jellyfish haircut.
I call it people of Walmart.
The people of Walmart.
Back in the 80s, we also called it the atomic bomb haircut because it looked like a mushroom cloud.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do with themselves.
What were you saying, Eddie? I know.
No, but the problem is when you're trying to add length, you need. So first of all, if you're trying to add length, by default, you're trying to create a weight line and coverage in a body area that doesn't exist.
Right.
So by default, you need a lot of hair. And then the person has a lot of natural hair to begin with. They got density. They've got thickness, bulkiness, right? Now you need twice the amount of hair down here because you need that hair to make it look like she's covered up and has hair. And then you need another set of extra hair to match this.
Right.
So it's wild. And that's the thing a lot of people don't realize is length equals an addition. If you're doing strands, length equals an additional 25 to 50 strands. And if she's got a lot of hair, that's another 25, 50 strands. This is why we talking about you need like 100 to 150 if you're doing a full head with length. And if somebody's got a lot of hair,
it's something to do like E equals MC squared or something.
It's just something like that. Yeah. Right. It's.
But see,
that's how you figure it out.
You actually have a good video. We should link it. You actually have a good video talking about if you've got this much hair, you take away. If you have this much hair, you add in, and this is how you can quickly kind of ballpark.
That was easy for individual strands because after you're doing it a while, you come up with this. I always call it starting points. Most people, what's the average? And then you're going to have people with thin hair need less, thick hair need more. And so with the she hair keratin bonds, I had come up with the average person. And I mean, you can take your average and go a little lower, a little higher. I know up north, the average was more like 120 strands. But for us down south, where the higher the hair, the closer to God,
so you need like 200.
Our average full head was 150 strands on most people. But then if you had, I used 3 major categories. There's a few different categories that can decide whether you need more or less hair, but the 3 major categories that I did, and I would subtract or add 10 strands according to each category. One was length. If somebody had short hair and they wanted long hair, to me, that was a category where we're going to add 10 strands. If they're just adding a little bit of length, and we're going to stay with the average. We're not going to add or subtract. And then head size. Nobody ever thinks about head size.
Right.
When you're putting hair on somebody's head and you're used to taking right here and you start putting bonds all the way around the head, and normally 33 packs of hair, 30 strands would end up right here. But then you got somebody like me with this watermelon head and you end around here with 30 strands. That's another pack or two of hair to get here. When you start working over a whole head, that's another pack or two all over the whole head. So I always said I came up with my own measurement because I always have these with me. And so I would look at a head and think, I think her head's kind of big or small, but I'm just kind of visually seeing it. Sometimes thick hair will make a head look bigger. I touch the back of the ears with my pinkies and then let my hands overlap. And I have found for me, the average size head, my thumbs would overlap evenly. If my thumb started to collapse over, it was a petite head. And if my thumb started to open up anywhere from like here to here to here, I was like, oh, wow, that's a large head, And so I would say if it was an average size head, 150 plus the 10 for the extra length. Average head, stay at 0. If it was a petite head, I would say subtract 10. So it could be, so you could, with the length, the size head, what was the other one? I forgot my 3 categories. It must have been length. If you had a little length,
the size of the head, and if they have a lot of hair or a little bit of hair, the density.
Right. And so you could add 10, 10, 10, and end up with 180 strands, or minus 10, 10, 10, and end up with 120 strands. But sometimes they cancel each other out. You'd have thick hair needed more, small head needed less, still at 150 for those 2 categories. And then you take that last category, and sometimes you would end up or down 10 strands. So 150 was a safe place to be.